Hello guys, right, I'm sat here watching this chart and it's probably going to go down as we speak, but I'm not going to trade it, and I thought this might be a useful video because I don't often post videos like this. In fact, I've never posted one like this, so if you remember one tiny little snippet from this, then it's worth my time. So how can I tell, and this is more importantly how I analyse the charts using the histo alert now. I've got my levels. I can clearly see we've got a daily level down here. We've got the S1 down here as well, which we know is sort of the indicator of a trend forming. Break the S1 or test the S1, pull back, then break it again. Then we're on our way potentially to S2. None of this is traded, that what I've just talked about, without the indicators agreeing 100% and the trend analysis, the candlestick trend analysis, agreeing 100%. But what I can see on this 30-minute chart, because I don't get any information, the time is 10:51, so we've got nearly 8 minutes to the end of the hour. What happens at the close of an hour? A potential rebound. So that's one reason I don't want to be in a trade then, or now should I say, getting so close to the hour. But 30 minutes ago, or not 30 minutes ago rather, whatever it is, 23 minutes ago, the 30-minute had busted the low of the previous red bar on the histo alert. We know that is a massively bearish signal. So at the start of this 30-minute candle, we could have considered going short because we got a good period of time before the end of the hour. We've got a really strong signal there, and we've got a potential breakout and target to trade to. Now that would have been worth, if we'd have traded the start of this 30-minute. The candle has moved about, there's the low of the previous candle, 8 or 9 pips, so there was a good scalp there, except I was busy doing something else. And I wouldn't just jump in on that 30-minute histogram sort of alert thing there. I would then have watched the pullbacks. So let's put the new line on that 30-minute open. So that's the start of the new 30-minute candle. So with every trade, I continually double check what's going on and triple check what's going on. Remember in the previous video I talked about this potentially reversing here because of potential divergence. Well, we wouldn't have even considered the reversal unless the red candle there had been closed through by this. Then you drop down to the 1 minute and check the pullback, because we get a break. Remember, when we break resistance, it often comes back and tests it as support. As long as the 1 minute didn't reverse on us to the downside again, we'd then wait for the 1 minute to reverse to the upside, and then we could consider testing the next level up, which would be the 15-minute high. Remember, we're on the 5-minute chart. So anyway, I digress. We've had now what looks like a 5-minute reversal to the short side. No, it's failed. It's failed to close below the low of that candle by the looks of it. Let's zoom in. No, it did close below the low of that candle. Having said that, you know what I've just said. I'm not interested in getting in this particular time of day, so that's another thing that I probably don't mention very often, so add that to your list, as it were. Try not to trade so close to the turnaround of an hour or a 4-hour for that matter. Both will potentially set off a reversal, purely because the 4-hour candle is highly likely to have broken a ton of support or resistance and will potentially reverse on you. In fact, I should think it is more often than not. You know, I haven't done the percentages, but 60, 70, 80%, who knows? Depending upon the time of day, I suppose, as well. Volatility in the market. So just another little lesson in things I take into account when I'm considering a trade. So what we've got, 5 minutes to go. It'd be interesting to see whether this does actually punch down to there before potentially bouncing. I'm going to pause this for a moment, make a cup of coffee and come back and see what it did. So I'm back. It's 11:16, and as you can see, my level got hit, daily low. There was a superb gap there of well, actually you can 427,408. So what's that, 9 pips or 11 pips? I can't work it out. But trade the gaps, trade the plan, make the plan early in the morning, and then just watch the price move between them. Now, I said I didn't want to be in this trade because it was so near the changeover of the hour. We've had 15 minutes into the hour and it's ground its way down there to my level, remember, and I could have traded this while I had this video paused, but I didn't. We had a reversal, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, high, low, lower, high, lower, low, and close, which would have been a strong signal to the downside. We had a break and close of the 20 level, which is a strong signal to the downside. So this was a perfectly good potential setup. But, you know, I've made 4 trades, 4 winners, and you know, you can be too greedy, and I could have suffered this going pinging all the way back to the hourly 8 EMA, and then being really annoyed with myself and stressed out. So always trade carefully. Use the information that the charts are giving you. Now, even though this has turned green, we're only on a 5-minute chart, and this candle is set to reverse to the long side here. I'm not interested in longing this either, because this indicator is telling me that this is not in divergence here. We have got a little bit of divergence between these two lows, and I mentioned that in the earlier part of the video, or a previous video, I can't remember now. But you know, always try and get involved in the meat of the trade, the meat of the movement, as opposed to grabbing the scrag ends, for want of a better analogy. You know, I'm always trying to trade away from the a recent break of the hourly 8 EMA, and then all the other stuff involved too. Still, it's showing the pound extremely weak still, but the US dollar is slightly weakening off as well. But in a pullback scenario, I'm not so interested in the currency strength indicator as I am in what the histogram's telling me. So actually, you know, you can assume that you've got a bit of divergence in here, or you haven't got divergence here. Higher time frame always takes precedence. You can see now the 30-minute is actually potentially in 10 minutes time going to close green. What else can this tell us? Yeah, the hourly now has turned green, but remember we've got 30 odd minutes, 40 minutes to go, or 20 minutes should I say. And 15 minute, we didn't look at that. 15 minute has closed green on the histogram. But it's worth mentioning also, look, these act as magnets to the price. S1, I mentioned that earlier, and the round number. So be very cautious trading both directions in this instance. I would be. That's why I was cautious earlier. So that's it, guys. Not a trade winner, but just a few of my thoughts at this time of the day. 11:20. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Sorry, my dog's distracting me again, so I'm off.